tears are no longer merely a symbol of weakness, but concrete evidence of how heavy the burden a global artist must carry. The public was shocked when Jungkook, a figure long regarded as one of the strongest and most consistent in BTS, finally could not hold back his tears. This moment coincided with the clarification he delivered regarding internal problems that have long surrounded BTS's journey. Yet what surprised the public even more was the swift and unexpected action of Taehyung after the clarification. A major question now arises. Was this merely a spontaneous emotional event, or is it a sign of serious dynamics that have long been hidden from the public eye? Recordings and video clips circulating on various digital platforms showed Jungkook's emotional expression as he uttered sentences considered as a form of clarification. He did not speak at length, but every word seemed to uncover layers of problems that had previously only been speculation among fans. ARMY who witnessed this moment could not hold back their tears either, as they felt there was a great burden carried all along without ever being openly revealed. Yet, do Jungkook's words truly reflect the actual reality, or are they part of a carefully constructed narrative? Furthermore, this clarification moment raises questions about the true internal dynamics of BTS. For years, the public has only been presented with images of togetherness, warmth, and nearly flawless success. Yet Jungkook's tears indicate another layer never fully displayed. The critical question arises, was there internal pressure forcing Jungkook to speak, or did he voluntarily want to explain something that has long weighed him down? The fact that this clarification was delivered with tears adds tension, as it signals an issue that can no longer be covered with smiles before the camera. ARMY's reaction becomes an important indicator in understanding the impact of this moment. Many consider Jungkook's tears as an honest reflection of his emotional suffering. Yet quite a few remain skeptical, questioning whether this moment was deliberately shown to evoke sympathy or even to cover another larger issue. This question leads the public to a dilemma. Are they witnessing raw truth, or are they part of a grand narrative carefully crafted? In the midst of focus on Jungkook, a shocking move came from Taehyung. Without many words, he immediately took an unexpected step, one that sparked wide speculation among fans and entertainment industry observers alike. Was this action a form of protection toward Jungkook? Or, on the contrary, a symbolic statement showing his firm stance on BTS's internal dynamics? The fact that Taehyung moved immediately after Jungkook's clarification creates the impression that between the two lies an emotional and professional connection far more complex than what has been visible. Not stopping there, this moment unveiled many clues that made the public increasingly uneasy. In various video fragments, there appeared a brief interaction between the two, full of tension yet laden with meaning. As if there was unspoken communication, a silent language only understood by those within BTS's inner circle. A reflective question arises. Was Taehyung's action full support, or was he instead sending a signal that there is a much more serious problem? Jungkook's clarification, the tears that accompanied it, and Taehyung's swift step created a massive wave on social media. Discussions no longer revolved merely around music or stage performance, but around the emotional and human side of BTS members. Yet once again, we must ask, to what extent can the truth of this event be verified? Is the public witnessing raw reality? Or is this part of a communication strategy designed to divert attention or shape certain perceptions? This phenomenon shows how every detail in the life of a global artist can turn into a serious, emotional discussion. Yet behind every tear and action, there is always the possibility that the visible narrative does not fully reflect fact. We must reflect. Are we as fans merely passive consumers of presented drama, or are we capable of being critical, skeptical, and reflective in assessing every piece of circulating information? ARMY touched by Jungkook's tears naturally feel emotional, yet they also need to ask themselves, is the sympathy justified, or are those feelings manipulated by media framing? Likewise with Taehyung's action, was he truly acting for Jungkook's sake, or is there another agenda not yet revealed? Questions such as these are vital so that the public does not fall into the current of information that often prioritizes sensation over fact, Moreover, this moment also opens discourse on how major artists face constant pressure from public expectations. Is it reasonable for them to bear such burdens without room to rest? Is Jungkook's clarification proof that an artist's emotional endurance finally collapsed? Or is this instead a signal that the entertainment industry has demanded something beyond human capacity? All these questions demand serious reflection, not only from fans but from anyone witnessing this phenomenon but on a broader scale. This event also challenges us to question the role of social media as an information source. TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube provide event fragments that seem convincing, but are they a full representation of the truth? How likely is it that those clips were edited to create certain dramatic effects? Do we truly understand the context, or are we simply accepting what is intended to be shown to us? Here is where a critical and reflective stance becomes essential. The public must not fall into the belief that every tear is an absolute symbol of truth. Likewise, a member's quick action does not always mean purely driven by sincere intent. There is always room for manipulation, framing, or even fabrication to create an emotional narrative that can influence public opinion. Thus, the question we must ask is, are we ready to question the truth behind every displayed moment, or will we remain passive consumers swept by sensation? This event, with all its dramatization and surprises, reflects how complex the modern entertainment world is. Jungkook's clarification and the tears accompanying it show the human side often forgotten. Yet Taehyung's swift and unexpected action also reveals that other dynamics are at play behind the scenes. The final question the public must answer is all this real, or are we only witnessing part of a larger stage where truth mixes with deliberately crafted narrative? This moment does not belong only to BTS, but also to the public, who must decide how to respond to every piece of information. Will they continue to believe in what appears on the surface, or will they dare to dig deeper, question, and reflect on every detail? For ultimately, truth does not always lie in tears or spontaneous action, but in critical analysis that dares to penetrate the layers of constructed narrative. The strong reaction from the public toward Jungkook's clarification and Taehyung's unexpected move did not stop at a momentary wave of emotion, but triggered long discussions now spreading across various social media platforms. Yet the fundamental question that should haunt every mind is, does what we witness truly reflect reality, or is it merely a fragment of narrative deliberately polished to cause commotion? How can we be sure that timelines filled with video clips, blurry photos, and circulating conversation transcripts truly represent truth, not fabrications created solely for sensational gain? This phenomenon opens a very important space for reflection. Were Jungkook's tears at that moment the genuine cry of an artist tired of carrying the public burden, or tears framed as a symbol to move mass sympathy? Was Taehyung's sudden action an act of pure solidarity, or a strategic move to divert intense media spotlight on their group? These questions must be central, for without critical stance, we remain passive consumers of information not guaranteed authentic. Social media such as TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter are now primary sources of spreading information about this issue. Yet who can guarantee that every video clip watched by millions is not cut or rearranged to serve certain interests? Is it not possible that a short clip can distort public perception by removing broader context? If so, are we not victims of digital manipulation nearly indistinguishable from reality? Furthermore, we must dare to ask, why did this event emerge at this specific time? Did Jungkook's clarification and Taehyung's action coincidentally occur amid the rising competition of the global entertainment industry, or are there hidden motives tied to popularity management strategy? Could this all be part of a grand narrative construction carefully arranged to ensure their ongoing relevance in the eyes of international public? The emotional reaction of ARMY flooding comment sections with virtual tears seems to prove the strength of the emotional bond between idol and fans. Yet is it not precisely this emotional bond that is most vulnerable to exploitation by those seeking profit? Could the mass sadness be not a pure reflection of reality, but a designed outcome to create even deeper attachment? Here lies the importance of collective reflection. Every reader, every viewer, and every fan is challenged to pause and ask themselves, am I witnessing truth, or being directed to believe something arranged for certain interests? Are Jungkook's tears truly his as an individual, or part of a grand narrative using an artist's emotional side as symbolic communication tool? We also need to examine why Taehyung's action is called unexpected. Was it truly spontaneous, born from sincere impulse, or was it actually prepared in advance to create dramatic effect capable of dominating global conversation? If it was pure, then the public is witnessing rare emotional honesty. Yet if it is part of a scenario, are we not all deceived by a grand drama staged as reality? This suspicion grows stronger when we review how social media algorithms work. Every video clip showing Jungkook holding back tears or Taehyung taking an extreme step spreads with extraordinary speed. The question: who first uploaded that video? From which account? How could it become viral so quickly without structured push? Is it not possible that a distribution machine behind the scenes deliberately steered public perception? From a more critical framework, we must also ask, who benefits most from this issue? Is it Jungkook and Taehyung themselves gaining huge sympathy, or the global entertainment industry once again successfully creating a viral moment to monetize? Do the emotional gains felt by ARMY align with the financial profits obtained by those behind spreading this issue? Such provocative questions must continually be asked so that we do not get trapped in mere emotion. For without critical stance, every tear we witness may only be a dramaturgical instrument polished beautifully. And if indeed so, does that not mean the public is merely playing the role of audience submissive to a scenario crafted by others, yet are we entirely justified in doubting an artist's emotions? Could Jungkook's tears not be genuine manifestation of long-held mental pressure? Is it fair for the public to instantly accuse every act of great artists as part of industry manipulation? This question places us in a moral dilemma between the skepticism needed to maintain rationality and the empathy needed to respect the human side of artists. At this point, deep reflection becomes crucial. We must ask, are we as the public truly ready to face the possibility that many events we consider real are but a stage built with precision? Do we dare accept the reality that tears, clarifications, and unexpected actions may all be part of communication strategies carefully designed? And if so, how should we respond? It must be emphasized again that all circulating information, whether video clips, Twitter posts, or long discussions on YouTube and TikTok, still requires thorough verification. The truth cannot be accepted merely because it went viral. Have there not been too many cases where viral clips turned out misleading? If so, why do we so easily believe the narrative built from similar sources this time? Therefore, the only wisest stance is to remain skeptical, reflective, and questioning of every emerging detail. Are we sure this event truly occurred as displayed? Are we sure Jungkook's clarification was not directed narrative? Are we sure Taehyung's step was spontaneous, not staged? And most importantly, are we sure we are not being deceived by a media system increasingly sophisticated in creating pseudo-reality? If these questions continue to be ignored, the public will only remain spectators lulled by drama without ever realizing the grand game behind the scenes. But if these questions guide us, we will always remain in a critical position, not easily manipulated. Ultimately, the fundamental question you, the readers, must answer is, do you truly believe this event is real, or do you begin to suspect that all this is merely fabrication aimed at attracting media attention?